What if I told you that the most dangerous thing you can do in this life is wait for someone to save you? Not failure, not loss, not even betrayal. Waiting. Waiting for someone to notice your pain. Waiting for someone to finally say, you deserve better. Waiting for the world to be fair. And what if I told you that the people who changed their lives, who truly changed them, they did it quietly, alone, without asking anyone for permission? Please listen till the end. This story may feel ordinary, but somewhere inside it, you will find yourself. And when you do, something in you will shift forever. His name was Marcus. Marcus was not extraordinary, not in any way the world would notice. He grew up in a small house on a narrow street where the radiator banged through winter nights and the rent was always due before the paycheck arrived. His father worked double shifts at a warehouse. His mother cleaned offices downtown before sunrise so she could be home when the kids got back from school. Marcus studied at the kitchen table long after everyone else had gone to bed. He was not the smartest kid in his class. He was not the most talented. But he had one thing, just one, that nobody could take from him. He never stopped. Not once, not even when it hurt. After college, Marcus got a small job at a logistics company. Loading schedules, tracking shipments, filing reports nobody read. His supervisor, Derek, took long lunches and left early every Friday. His colleague, Brandon, spent half the day complaining that the company didn't deserve him. Another colleague, Sandra, had been waiting for a transfer for 3 years and reminded everyone of this every single morning. The office was full of people carrying their pain out loud, wearing their frustration like a badge. But Marcus? Marcus carried his quietly, and his pain was real, my friend. His father's health was failing. The medical bills were climbing. His younger sister had paused college because the family couldn't afford to keep both of them going at the same time. Marcus knew this. He felt this every single day. But he came to work, sat down, and did what was in front of him. One evening, Marcus stayed 3 hours late to fix an error in a shipment schedule that was not even his responsibility. He found the mistake. He corrected it. He saved the company from losing a major client. He told no one. The next morning, his supervisor Derek walked in, received the praise from the manager, and simply said, "Yeah, we caught it just in time." He did not mention Marcus. Not once. Brandon found out and came rushing over. "Marcus, you need to go tell the manager. That was your work. Why are you letting Derek take the credit?" Marcus looked at him calmly and said, "The client is safe. The work is done. That is enough for today." Brandon stared at him like he had said something in a foreign language. That night, Marcus sat on the edge of his bed, in his small apartment, in the dark. Was he angry? Yes. Was he tired? More than words can say. But he asked himself one question. If I spend my energy on what was taken from me, what is left for what I am building? And he went to sleep. My friend, let me stop right here, because I know this feeling, and I think you do too. That moment when you do the work and someone else gets the name. When you carry the weight and someone else takes the bow. When you are so tired of being invisible that you want to stand up and shout, "I am here. I matter. See me." Most people in that moment begin to shrink. They start doing less because what is the point? Or they become bitter and loud, spending more energy on their anger than on their future. But here is what silence teaches you that no classroom ever will. When you stop performing for others, you start building for yourself. When you stop needing the credit, you stop giving others control over your motivation. And that is when real growth begins. Not loud, not celebrated, but unstoppable. A few weeks later, Marcus drove out to visit his grandfather, an old man named Walter, who had spent 40 years working as a carpenter in a small workshop, building furniture for people who never once asked his name. Marcus sat beside him in the workshop as he planed a piece of oak, slow and steady, shavings curling to the floor. "Grandpa," Marcus said quietly, "do you ever feel like nobody sees what you do?" Walter did not look up from the wood. He simply said, "Does the foundation ask the house if it is grateful?" Marcus was quiet. "The foundation just holds," said Walter. Through storms, through weight, through years. It does not stand up and say, "Look at me." It simply does what it was built to do. He set down the plane, ran his hand along the smooth grain, and looked at his grandson. The strongest part of anything, Marcus, is always the part nobody sees. That sentence stayed with Marcus for the rest of his life. Something changed in Marcus after that afternoon. Not his circumstances, not his salary, not his title, his direction. He stopped looking sideways at what others had. He stopped measuring his progress against people who were not even going where he wanted to go. He started waking up 40 minutes earlier, not to impress anyone, just to think, to plan, to learn. He began studying supply chain systems on his own, late at night, after the city had gone quiet. He submitted one small improvement to his manager, then another, then another. Each one quiet, each one careful, each one real. His colleagues still complained. Brandon still said the company didn't deserve him, while doing exactly nothing to find a better one. Derek still took the long lunches. But Marcus was building something, brick by brick, in silence, in dignity, in the dark. 14 months later, the company opened a new regional operations division. The director flew in from the head office. She spent 3 days reviewing the team. On the final day, she called a meeting and said one name: Marcus. In 14 months, she said, looking around the room, this man submitted 9 process improvements. 3 of them are now company standard. He has never once escalated a complaint. He has never once missed a deadline. He does not ask to be recognized. He simply delivers. She paused. That is exactly the kind of person I want leading this division. The room was silent. Marcus did not straighten up with pride. He did not look at Derek. He did not look at Brandon. He simply said, "Thank you. I will not let you down." And he meant it. Because, my friend, it was never about them. It was never about the credit, the applause, or the moment. It was always about who he was becoming, quietly, steadily, one day at a time.